3 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on at Cat. You perfectly blocked the screen and you're pressing all kinds of buttons. Did you just open iTunes? No, you didn't open iTunes. But regardless, we're continuing on 20% of the way through React Part 2. Little cat, you're stepping on everything again. You ruined yesterday's beginning. What is it with the beginning? Go. You're looking for your nap spot. Your nap spot is below the desk. My flailing hands are not for your pleasure. They're for guidance, and guidance alone. Good. And we're sleeping. Alright. Tiny cat dealt with. Perfect. Good. Alright. Oh, wow. She is just too much fun. Alright. And she's knocking things down, because she can. Cool. Day 103. We are continuing on at 20% of the way through, learning ReactJS Part 2. We will resume with lesson 3. Awesome. So we will be finishing out section 1. Not sure if we'll be starting section 2. They've got 5 lessons in section 2 versus the 3 in section 1, and they only have 2 lessons in section 3. So that's that. Putting the final nail in the coffin for stateless components inherit from stateful components. And the third section is child components update their siblings' props. We're just going to basically dive right into it. And hopefully, if it loads, we will continue. And we are perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. It always jumps to section 2 when section 1 has no objective to complete. But we're on one. Hey, Demon Wolf. How are you doing? How's your night going? Or day, night? One of those. Basically midnight for me. We started at like 11:57 just moments ago. We barely made the cutoff time for the 13th. But we did it. 103 consecutive days. Don't mind the overflow. 2 a.m. Okay, so it's late for you too. Good. All right. We've got a shorter section today. Only 5 sections. But still, for some reason, the last 2 days also have only had 5 sections, or 5 sections, but each stream has taken close to an hour, so that just goes to show how incompetent I am, right? Yeah, good. Alright, so we're starting off day 103 with child components updating their sibling components. And what's going down? I made a Facebook comment on a guy who yells about the MS tracking in the OS, and I roasted him, and he removed my comment. Kinda happy, like, really, dude. That's tons of fun. That's good. Alright. Speaking of hopefully good and happy, I'm hopeful that's how this section goes. Not necessarily section 1, but I meant all 5 sections. Yesterday we ran into an issue halfway through, and it was rather painful. But we're going to do our best. Starting off with patterns. Patterns within patterns within patterns. Good. In lesson 1, you learned your first React programming pattern. A stateful parent component passes down a prop to a stateless child component. In lesson 2, you learn that lesson 1's pattern is actually a part of a larger pattern. A stateful parent component passes down an event handler to a stateless child component. The child component then uses that event handler to update its parent state. In this lesson, we will expand the pattern one last time. A child component updates its parent state Then the parent passes that state to a sibling component. An understanding of this final pattern will be very helpful in the wild, not to mention in the next React course. Click Next and we'll build an example. Alright, so tonight has been good. How you been? I've been good. It's been 103 days of... Success is a strong word. There have been successes. It's definitely been 103 days of learning. Some days have definitely been more brutal than others, but it's been awesome. In general, let me jump over here. This is what I've conquered so far in 103 days. Like 12 or 13 different courses. I think 13 courses here at Codecademy. Learning HTML and CSS Part 1. Learning JavaScript. Those two were the intro courses to both of those. SAS. Making a website. Learning the command line. Deploying a website. Learning about Git. Python. Their more in-depth HTML and CSS course. Their more in-depth JavaScript course. jQuery. Finished part 1 of React, and now I'm making my way through part 2, and then I've got what I have next. I think Angular, is that? Yeah, Angular is on the horizon, so knocked all this fun out. We've got Angular and a slew of Ruby courses on the horizon, and we'll be kind of nearing the end. Did you read the chat line about what I said in the comment? Ass is baked. Wait. Which? You mean the Facebook comment? I made a Facebook comment on a guy who yells about the MS tracking in the operating system, and I roasted him, and he removed my comment. Yeah. No, that was good. That's ridiculous. That's spectacular in every sense of the way possible. SQL. Yeah, SQL's fun. I mean, I've used SQL before in my last job, again, but what I used, like, it was very basic queries that I was running. Like server-side, back-end, pulling data for clients and stuff like that. They were using front-end cloud software. I had access to the back-end like server data where all the info was stored, so I'd just do really basic queries, nothing too crazy. So that's about as much like SQL. Yeah, SQL knowledge that I could do basic updates, things like that, but more knowledge out of these like 3 different courses. But I did do, before I learned SQL, I did the HTML, the intro HTML and CSS course, and just the general like understanding of that different coding languages have their own syntax. That definitely helped break the ice for understanding how to write basic SQL scripts. You know, you've got the tags, the opening tag and the closing tag and stuff like that, and get your semicolon in there to finish things, like really basic stuff that still applied to it. So learning the lower level fundamentals of SQL wasn't too difficult. Some of my coworkers, when we all learned, when they taught us, oh my god, some of them just absolutely hated it. I thought it was delightful, but that's just me. The mic is not good times, but it may be my side. Mic is good for a while, then it goes oops. Hold that thought. I'm gonna mute it for a moment. Okay, hopefully, fingers crossed. It's probably still going to sound terrible, but that's okay. You know, aside from flicking it, we don't have much more to offer. Aside from, like, shutting down the stream, refreshing Adobe Audition, but basically everything starts from scratch before the stream begins, so we can only hope for the best. There is general popping anyways. I think it has to do, I've been meaning to Yeah, right? It keeps clipping. I don't know. Like, in Adobe Audition, it's... Well, I do know what it is. It's the fact that I have so many different... I wouldn't say many different audio filters. It's how much it's being processed. Because I've got noise reduction running in Adobe Audition, and they added noise reduction, like adaptive noise reduction, real-time noise cancellation to OBS as well. And both of those running, I think that's what's causing the popping. I don't think the audio is actually clipping, because I've got the levels just like low enough. It's not hitting the zero decibels in Adobe Audition. You know what I mean, right? Point is, I need to, I haven't touched my audio settings since I started the stream. Like, I tinkered with them for a good long while, mainly to actually learn how the hell Adobe Audition worked. At least all the components that would be applicable to live streaming, because not all the features in Adobe Audition can apply, like the real-time adaptive noise reduction. That's something that only applies to, yeah. Anyways, not important, doesn't matter. Point is that I need to re-go through and adjust levels after not touching them for 103 days. So yeah. Because I've got tons of noise cancellation. My computer on my desk sounds like a Black Hawk helicopter trying to take off. It's bad. And it's just this little thing just shaking with the fan. My old little Mac Mini. Alright, enough about my less than desirable situation. Continuing on. Section 2. Damn it. Side note, you changed to XSplit. Do you prefer XSplit to OBS? You still have to pay for XSplit. They have a free version. I think they have a free trial. But I know to, like, continue using it, I'm pretty sure you have to pay something. And I'm sure it's worth it. All the reviews I've heard, like, if you're into the into the XSplit thing, then, yeah. I got XSplit paid for a year for, like, $3? Is it really that cheap? Or did you just score on some crazy deal? Oh. Is it pretty similar to OBS in, like, in terms of the functionality? Because my little empire that I've built so far for, like, social media stuff and, like, everything, I've been doing all free stuff. Got the code from G2A. Okay. Alright, well then, damn, maybe I'll need to check it out. I thought it was like 15 or 20 bucks. And I mean, if you're gonna be, especially whether you're a big streamer or a novice, new to streaming person like me, I mean, if it's something that you're gonna be using every single day, $20 spread over a daily stream for a whole year, or however long, like, that's totally worth it. I get that. I wasn't trying to, like, totally pinch pennies. I was actually, when I first set off, I wanted to see how much, like, how big and sort of quality-wise I could reach with all free stuff. So, I've made it my 100 days with free stuff. I've seen where the highs are, the lows are, so at least I have a better understanding of what my whole thing is, so. Alright. It's like OBS, but you have to learn XSplit. It's a little different how they do it, but it does the same things. XSplit is easy to use because you just authorize your Twitch account and it will find the best server and etc. For streaming noobs, it's boss. Yeah, that's good. I still haven't run the test because there's, in OBS and looking on YouTube, and I forget where else, there is one of the things where you can check the it's like the server test or whatever, but it's some third-party application you have to download. I think it's like an open source thing. It's awesome, and they've got different tests, like, you know, a 30-second test, a 1-minute test, 5-minute, like 10, 15, and then it'll tell you how long, the longer the test you run, the better the test results. But good. The fact that XSplit does that automatically, that is pretty cool. Okay, things to try. Although my to-do list is friggin' massive. But that's okay. Always good to have something to do. Alright, speaking of things to do. Section 2. Here we go. One of the very first things that you learned about components is that they should only have one job. Damn. No. Hold on. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I don't think I ever properly thanked you. You did your raid, like, I don't know, it was probably close to a month, maybe it was 2 months ago. But I was so caught up in the stream, I totally, like, I think I said thank you and I acknowledged the people who came in, but I wanted to thank you again. I truly appreciated your raid of people that you sent my way. So that's that. That's been floating back there for like the last probably month and a half at least. Now we're good. Now we can continue on with section 2. Yes, you did raid once. Yeah, and I remember. That's what we're talking about. Exactly. See? Good. Little Kitty remembers. Also, Little Kitty's sleeping in my lap. Alright. Back to lesson 2. One of the very first things that you learned about components is that they should only have one job. In the last section, child had 2 jobs. 1, child displayed a name. 2, child offered a way to change that name. Okay, displayed a name and offered a way to change that name. You should make like Solomon and you should make like Solomon and divide child into 2. One component for displaying the name and a different component for allowing a user to change the name. In the code editor, select child.js. Notice that these lines have vanished. We've selected child.js. We're looking at H1 and we're seeing that they're gone. Parent, child, and there's a lack of A1. Okay, cool. Wow. I don't know why I thought it said mom. I'm just totally guessing. After midnight, our effort level drops from like 99% effort to like 22% effort. Questions. Do I have a Windows PC? No, I've got a borderline archaic, by today's standards, Mac Mini. I mean, it's great. If I weren't streaming, it would be fine. Just for like perusing the internet, if you will, it would be totally cool. The fact that I'm trying to stream and the fact that I'm like rendering video on a daily basis now, like rendering video is rendering video. I know you could have some huge file, but still, like, it's become, wasn't just like a pretty face. It's always been like a minor workhorse, but now I've given it a role of being a major workhorse, and it was born a minor workhorse at best. So it's just, I'm using it to its fullest. It was the first year they added Intel dual-core i5s to Macs. And I think, so it's a mid-2011, so it's now 6 years old. Sadly, you can't use XSplit, it's Windows only. That's another great observation. Kudos, Mr. Demon Wolf. That is, that'll save me my couple dollars. That's probably another reason why I ended up with OBS. Do you use Final Cut? No, I'm using the Adobe stuff, the Adobe suite. Although really the only things that I'm using currently are Adobe Audition, and hell, I haven't even actually had to touch Premiere yet because I've just been doing such baseline. When I need to do video editing, I've actually been sending files to my phone because my phone, it's, what is it? I don't even know what it's the 7, the iPhone 7. So it can handle and process video faster, or just, yeah, honestly, I think it's faster than my computer. And the interface for iMovie is so damn easy on my phone that it's just easier to do stuff. So, yeah, that's that. And then I'll upload either directly to YouTube from my phone, or I'll send the file back from my phone to my computer and then upload it there. It just kind of depends, but good. Back to coding. iMovie is on Mac. Yes, it is on Mac, but remember, 6-year-old Mac Mini, dual-core i5. She's a sweetheart, to say the least. She tries, but processing movies, whether it's 45 minutes to about an hour long, hour and a half. Again, my stream isn't 8 hours long. Usually it runs about an hour, maybe 2, depending on how much content there is, which my phone can like power through that pretty damn quickly, all things considered. So yeah, that's that. But yes, iMovie is on there, also on my phone. The interface, extremely easy to use, and I'm not doing any high polish flare editing, really basic stuff. Clipping clips together. Wow, that's insightful. But yeah, that's sad when your phone is more powerful. Kind of, but that also, you know, kudos for the phone, right? I am trying to focus on the good in the situation. I mean, and that's also why I ended up doing this stream, because this is about all my computer could handle streaming, is me streaming slowly going page to page through Codecademy. The most dynamic thing that happens on my page or on my computer when I'm streaming Codecademy is me highlighting, right? This is about as epic and as powerful and as complex as my computer can handle at the moment. All right. I've always done simple edits with Premiere Pro. All right. Yeah, no, I have Premiere Pro. I just haven't really had a need yet, or a desire. That's probably the bigger issue, is the desire to do more, we'll call it professional editing with Premiere. I just feel like it's another thing that I have to learn, and I'm down to learn, but I've been learning for the last 103 days. My only concern is like making sure that I code every single day. Like, as long as I get this stream out, I feel like I've completed my day's worth of work. Can you use Atom or VS Code to program afterwards? Possibly. iMovie is not bad. I used it before. A school iPad with it. I need to add, I'm looking, because Topher told me about Atom.io, because I'd see other programmers, and like that was one of my main concerns or questions. One of the things I was curious about when I first did coding was, I was like, where do people, a normal like notepad or text editor or whatever you're rocking doesn't have the cool font colors that change like this here in Codecademy's code editor. So I asked Topher, well, how the hell do you get that? And Topher was saying there's all kinds of things. Another one that I saw, what was it, like Visual? Is it Visual Studio or something like that? Or maybe it's VS Code, but Atom, and he was letting me know that there are code editors out there that you can download that do all this stuff, and ta-da, that solved it. So in the meantime, since Codecademy has one built in, and my goal is to just complete Codecademy, ideally, once I knock out Codecademy, then I'm going to start looking more into doing side projects, downloading some of those different editors, toying with those, seeing what I would like, and yeah. Would I like the link? Yeah, go for it. Drop those links, make it rain. Get all kinds of linky up in here. Or whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah. So that's what we've got to look forward to. Visual Studio. Codecademy sent out recently, and I should have done a stream on it. But I went through, they compiled, no, was it? It wasn't Codecademy. Maybe Codecademy was forwarding it. It was from Stack Overflow, and they had their the results, the 2017 results for all the data they collected from 2016. Well, it was regarding 2016. They did the survey in 2017 from like January to February. And yeah, I spent like 2 hours or more, maybe. It was at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, reading the entire survey report, and it was really interesting. They broke down, like, obviously some of the, like, basic general stuff, but, like, what's the most, they had, like, 65,000 developers respond to their survey, and it was, like, what's the most popular, like, server-side program language, and what's the most popular front-end program language, and like they broke it down by like demographics, what's the most God, I'm trying to think. They just had so many different angles and views. It wasn't just like what's the highest paid programming language. It was like what's the most needed back-end programming language by demographics in like Asia and Africa, and it was all these cool things, and you could see all the charts, and like it was just kind of eye-opening, and it was really cool to see the differences, like kind of continental, or the difference between the continents, like the European programming scene, all the different languages and the developers, what they like and prefer, versus like the US versus like the Asian market and all that stuff. So it was just a really interesting survey, but I went through the whole thing. I should have just did a 2-hour stream. I read through all of that in hindsight, but it was very insightful. So Stack Overflow, they did a great job. I moved from Atom, and it was lagging even with not much. And you were saying that Adam, it was one of the comments, I glazed over it. I saw it with my eyes, but I didn't read it. You were saying it was like CPU intensive or something. Yes. Adam is hard on CPU at times. Yeah. Okay. I mostly do front end. Way cool. Yeah, no, I mean, I like seeing, as of now, as far as the learning, I definitely feel like the front end languages or courses that I've done here at Codecademy are definitely kind of it's more that instant gratification, because you can see the changes immediately. I would like to have a better understanding, though, going into this. I don't have many goals right now related to development. I just kind of want to see where it leads me. But before I started this whole learning to code thing, I did want to have, because I've been into electronics, and just with some of the jobs that I've had, I've wanted to learn and get a better understanding of back-end code and like how things are processed and all that data gets accumulated and how it all functions and all that nonsense. So I find front end more enjoyable, but there's this itch inside, and I want to learn and at least have a better understanding of back end languages, or server side languages. That's just to put my mind at ease. Okay, we were so close to almost making progress. In the last lesson, we had a child has 2 jobs. 1, child displayed a name. 2, child offered ways to change the name. You should make like Solomon and divide child into 2. One component for displaying the name and different component for allowing a user to change the name. In the code editor, select child.js. Notice that these lines have vanished. Each one, hey, my name is this.props.name. Closing each one tag. The new version of child renders a drop-down menu for changing the name, and that's it. Select sibling.js in the code editor. Selecting. Read through the render function's return statement. Okay, render function, return statement. We've got our div, h1, hey, my name is Arthur. Yes. They're still using that name. They've been using that name for the last 3 days. Well, 3 sections. It's only taken me 3 days, but whatever. H2, don't you think Arthur is the prettiest named ever? No, it hurts every time I say it. H2, sure am glad that my parents picked Arthur. So they did pick it to spite us. They've revealed their true colors. Beautiful. Hey, Twist. Good morning to you. Although kind of good night for us, but that's all right. Good time of day wherever you're located. Hopefully your day is going well so far. All right, the newest. No. We made it past that. Read through the render function's return statement. Here, the name is displayed, or at least it will be once you've done a little editing. That brings us to the essential new concept for this lesson. You will have one stateless component displayed. You will have one stateless component display information, and a different stateless component offer the ability to change that information. Click Run. That's all we have to do, and they already gave us a check mark because that's all we had to do. Select parent.js and look at the render. Parent instance. Hey, little kitty, what are you doing? No, don't. Oh my god, you're clicking on the keyboard again. At least you aren't typing. Yeah, how do you like that? Bet you're disappointed, but you're touching chat on the phone with your toes. Hey, no. Go be loved somewhere else, alright? Go, okay, you know what? The fact that you're, no, you're covered in fur and you're confused. Oh my god, tiny furry animal. Okay, hopefully she can take a hint. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay. She's moving things on the webcam. Just ridiculous. Alright, we're back. And so is she once we recalibrated everything. Oh my god, Whiskers. You get a hold of yourself. Look, you can be on the desk as long as you don't lay on the keyboard. Oh my god. You think coding would be hard enough to learn on its own, and it is. It's even more difficult when there are felines running rampant on your desk, okay? Look, she's sleeping now. She's just laid down. This is a whole cat. Look at, here's her tail. All right? She hasn't moved very far. Her keyboard is in my lap now. Her phone is still on the desk. But she needs to nap because she has to sleep at least 19 hours a day, or, well, I don't really know what she does. She doesn't do anything else aside from sleep, so. Alright, back to our slice of hell, learning React. Click Run, select parent.js. We've selected parent.js. Look at the rendered parent component instance in the browser. Render function, return, div, child, name.blah, on change, render, parent. Cool. Try selecting a name from the drop-down menu. Does it work? Well, let's hit run. All is well, green check mark, and we've got Arthur, Gromulus, Think piece, nothing's changing. So does it work? The answer is no, it doesn't work. He wants to play with us. Yeah, 19 hours. You said it, Mr. Demon Wolf. With your concerned cat emoji. Yeah. He's ridiculous. Alright, next. Section 3. We're getting there, but Section 3 is where the stream blew up last night and just fell to pieces. It was like an hour long and like 45 minutes of it was Section 3. So, fingers crossed that doesn't happen tonight. Look at parent.js in the code editor. 3 things have changed in this file since last lesson. 1, sibling has been required on line 4. Cool. We've got sibling required. 2, a sibling instance has been added to the render function on line 23. Sibling instance added. Followed by sibling instance and child have been wrapped in a div. They have been wrapped in a div. We've got a render function returning in a single div both child with 2 props and sibling, which I'm assuming we will be adding a prop to. Oh, look at that. It's like I can read the future. Sibling's job is to display the selected name. That name is stored in parents state.parent. What the deuce? Oh, no, this is not a singular thing. They're not trying to be clever. That's my inability to read all their fun bolded stuff. That name is stored in parent's state, period. Parent will have to pass the name to sibling so that sibling can display it. In parent's render function, pass the name to sibling. We've got name equals this dot state dot name. Let's drop that in. We'll run it. Fingers crossed, get a green check mark or a giant red angry error. But I don't think we could have messed up that copy and paste. Although it is that wheel's just spinning, so clearly Codecademy hates us for some reason or another. I'm gonna refresh the page. Maybe not taking so long to get there will be helpful. Okay, and question. I have a lot of cat emojis. Have you seen them all? I don't believe I have. I'll need to see them. You said you were a front-end dev. I can't tell if you're talking to Mr. Twist. Twist, was your question to Mr. Demon Wolf? He does mostly front-end stuff. I was simply going over his questions. But me? No, I'm a class 5 noob at coding. I don't sprechen the code very much yet, which is why I'm here. 103 days of this stuff. I mean, I think a majority of the stuff I've learned so far is mostly front end. Like if you were to cut like percentage wise out of all of this, the like 12 different courses, oh my god, cat explosion in the chat. Mr. Demon Wolf is hitting me with the cat emojis. Holy hell. That's like a hurricane of kittens in chat. It's delightful, yet concerning. It feels great, though. That's awesome. Good on you. But back to MI front end. Probably 60-40 split so far of the like 12 different courses I've done. I'd say probably slightly more than half are leaning towards front end. Actually, honestly, it's probably closer to like 80% now that I really look at it. But yeah, that's good. That's hot. All right, let's close this. Let's refocus. And yeah. You remind me of Sheldon Cooper. That makes me feel so great. Love Sheldon. He's one of my heroes. Yeah, like long time Big Bang Theory fan. There's just I basically agree with everything Sheldon does. Nothing he does seems odd to me. I would do the same exact thing, but I don't have, well, at least to my knowledge, I don't think I have as many interesting social ineptitudes that he does, but who knows? The fact that I'd probably agree and make the same choices is probably slightly concerning, but that's okay. Alright. The sad part is I only subbed for the emotes. All those cat emotes are totally worth it, though. Especially the devil cat. I'm feeling the devil cat. Those are awesome. And the hype cat. Those are all good times. Alright. Back to this. We were so close. We were taking name and things and shoving it. Oh, it already has it down here. Cool. Look at. Maybe it's the formatting issue from yesterday. Yesterday we were running into this is what we ran into yesterday on section 3. They were being jackasses about loading the stuff. I did basically exactly this. But when I ran the code or updated, finally after failing so many times, they were like, hey, do you need a hug? And I was like, maybe. So then they corrected the code for me, and it was basically this. Like, I had the same exact code, but they dropped it down a line, and then when we ran it, it gave us a green check mark, but it wasn't giving us a... See that right there? Again. So there's that. But now, and you know what? I don't think... If I go back and run it again, I don't know if it's going to keep a green check mark. Okay, it's not going to re-verify step 1. But this was the exact same code we had before. They just didn't like the fact that I was up here. Maybe that's syntactically immoral to run it right next to it. I don't feel that it is. But they haven't said anything different. They've only hinted at it with their own formatting. Anyways, it's been 103 days of me trying to decode int on Codecademy. So the learning curve should be easy, because it's all the fundamental stuff. Not here at Codecademy. You gotta want it. 103 days wanting. Alright, 2. Don't mind the horrifying red X. That's just me struggling with step 1. Alright, now we're looking at 2. Child's job is to offer a way to change the chosen name, not to display it. Whoa, who's doing what? Child's job is to offer a way to change the chosen name, not to display it. Gotcha. It's a changeling. It can morph into whatever it needs to be. In parent.js, look at lines 21 and 22. 21, 22. Check. You're passing child 2 pieces of dynamic information. 1, the chosen name, this.state.name, and 2, a way to change the chosen name, this.changename. One of those is now unnecessary. Remove an attribute from child so that it receives a way to change the chosen name and nothing more. I don't believe we need name. I think all we need to keep is on change, especially the fact that they have change here, italics. Italicized? Italicized. Okay. We're destroying lesson 1. Or not lesson 1, line 21. Delete. Okay. That's been deleted. And we're running that, fingers crossed. How's that looking? Good, good. Green check mark. Awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. So, beautiful. Next section for, and what's going down in chat? All kinds of new stuff. Nice, I got a server now. What's your goal after you learn React? I made a home server from an old PC with a VM. Nice. Are you serving something online, Demon? Or is it just private network? Private. Way cool. Private server. Awesome. As for the goal of React, we are opening a new tab. And then open catalog. Okay, we've got JavaScript query, learn ReactJS, and learn ReactJS part 2. So once we finish React, then we'll be moving on to Angular. I started my journey back here, square one, square zero, and I've just been making my way across and down. My goal is to simply conquer Codecademy, mainly just to get a general feel of some of the main different languages out there, the foundation, the fundamentals. Once I find one that I think I like, or I'm willing to commit the next large chunk of time to try and perfect, then I'll do that. So yeah, that's but Angular is next on the horizon, followed by Ruby, and then finishing out Codecademy. So yeah, that's no real major agenda aside from conquer Codecademy. But Angular is next. So yeah, it's been good. 103 days. The other thing is I also kind of wanted to capture as well. Like, the first time I tried coding a couple years ago, I did this ridiculous, like, binge session all-nighter. It was like 16, 20 hours, and it was fantastic. And I always wanted to learn in that, like, continue learning via binge sessions, but people have real lives. Like, I was in college and working, and you just don't have 16, 20-hour chunks of time daily lying around. So yeah, that didn't really pan out. So then a couple years of the real world passed by with just work after college, and now I've got more time, and now I've broken it into smaller chunks and just doing it daily. And I've noticed that it is kind of like learning a language. It helps when you learn a language to practice it every single day. It helps doing coding every single day. So yeah, it's been good, and I think it's more realistic learning little bits at a time instead of learning 15, 20 hours a day at a time. I think this is much more applicable to the general populace, if you will, anyone who might be interested. If anyone's like, well, I wonder how long it takes to slowly learn how to code over 100 days, it kind of looks exactly like what I've been doing. But yeah, nice. Alright, I test ethical hacking through VB. Hey, find YouTube Mindspace channel and see ReactJS basic series. Noted. Don't mind me. I will copy that. Mindspace. Copy. Adding to notes for the YouTube. Mindspace. Based. Cool. Need another notch on my to-do list. Danke. I appreciate it. God knows I need as many resources as possible to help me hone my skills. Okay, you're on the last step. You've passed the name down to sibling as a prop. Now sibling has to display that prop. Select sibling.js. Notice that sibling doesn't use any dynamic information at all. Every time that sibling renders, it will always look exactly the same. That's not what you want. On line 5, here, on line 5, oh, no. Select sibling.js. Just kidding. on line 5 here, declare a new variable called name. Set name equal to this dot props name. You'll use it in the next checkpoint. So let's go ahead. We'll tab over, render. You know what? Should we have it tabbed over one more? They've got return. You see, they've got render function and then return over one. Trying to decide. Line 5, render. We'll keep it in line with render. It'll boost your knowledge. That taught me to code with Laravel. Interesting. Noted. Alright, well, I'll need to definitely check it out. Something about something. What are we doing? Variables. Always eat your variables, kids. Variable. Not variable. Wrong. No. Yes. Wow, it's getting late. We're totally losing our sanity. I mean, not that we had a lot to work with, but what little we had is quickly fleeting. Variable name equals cat. I wish I could have the desk, but she's sleeping on it. You know, I bought the desk for me to use, but turns out I was wrong. Desk is here just for her to nap on. Damn you, furry kitten. This dot props dot name, copy. And we're pasting. We are so close to the end. Let's run it. How's that? Damn. Did you write variable name this dot props dot name? Oh, question mark. Did I not need the curly braces? I guess I didn't need the curly braces. It hates everything that I was trying to do there. I am a lesser human in their eyes at Codecademy. Okay, that's cool. Not to worry. This is only, even though it's day 103 here at Codecademy, is only, oh no, you know what? It's not day 3 of React. This is day 5 or 6 of React. The point is, we're still within less than a week of learning React. We are still extremely noobish. Run. There we go. Green check mark. Beautiful. Instruction number 2. Inside of the render function return statement here, there are 3 instances of the word Arthur. God, that's awful. You want to replace each instance of Farther with whatever the chosen name is. Replace Farther with name in curly braces. Copy, click Run, try selecting a new name from the drop-down menu. Name is blah, paste, isn't blah, the prettiest name ever. So glad my parents picked the name. Cool, cool. Just carrot, howdy, howdy to you, just carrot. Hopefully your day / evening is going well. It's the morning for Twist, and it's, oh god, I guess it's the morning for Demon Wolf, if he's still here. Yeah, it's late for me. What is it? It's 12? No. Yes, it's 12:53. Good god. No wonder why I feel so crazy right now. Okay, we're good? We're good. Let's run that. Morning for me as well. Awesome. I guess it's really, really early in the morning for me, considering how late it is, right? You know, we're past midnight. We're 53 minutes into today. The day is new. Cool. Green check mark. Beautiful. Alright. Arthur. Everything changes to Gromulus. Everything changes to Think Piece. Back to Farther for good measure. and we'll end on Gromulus. Hey, my name is Gromulus. I think Gromulus is the prettiest name ever. Sure glad my parents picked the name Gromulus. Spectacular. Beautiful. Bosnia. And... oh, dude. Here. Finland. Fun. Sweet. Wait, not really? Okay, I was like... I can't even say it. I struggle. Reading is not my... interesting words are my downfall. Let's just put it nicely. Alright, section 5. Hey, oh, there's no instructions for section 5, or no challenge that we have to complete, so we just wind up with the badge. Cool. Alright, well, we are nearing the end. Let me power through this. You just executed your first complete React program pattern. Let's review. Follow each step in the code editor. A stateful component class defines a function that calls this.setState. Parent.js lines 11 through 15. Boom. The stateful component passes that function down to a stateless component. Parent.js line 20. Ta-da. That stateless component class defines a function that calls the pass down function and that can take an event object as an argument. Child.js lines 4 through 7. Child.js lines 4 through 7. Cool. When an event is detected, the parent's state updates. A user selects a new drop-down menu. Item. The stateful component class passes down its state, distinct from the ability to change its state to a different stateless component. Parent.js line 21, right here. Okay, we are nearing the end. That stateless component class receives the state and displays it. In sibling.js, lines 8 through 10, right here is what's displaying it. Cool. And lastly, an instance of the stateful component class is rendered. One stateless child component displays the state, and a different stateless child component displays a way to change the parent.js. Lines 27 through 30 down here with our React DOM.reader and its two arguments, the first being the parent component instance, and the second being the document.getElementById. Way cool. This pattern occurs in React all the time. The more you see it, the more that its elegance will become clear. Being introduced to this pattern is your first step towards understanding how React app fits together. You'll get more practice using it throughout this course, as well as in the course after this one. Way cool. So day 103 is coming to an end, but let's take a look at what is on the horizon for day 104 tomorrow, which technically is just going to be sometime later today. Up next, style. Learn simple styling in React. Start lesson. Alright, and how many sections will tomorrow lessons be? Okay, 6. 6 parts to tomorrow's lesson. That's not bad. These are all small sections. But tomorrow, we'll read this first little bit, taste, if you will. In this unit, you'll learn a variety of useful techniques that React programmers are expected to know. You'll learn how to make stateless functional components, how to make prototype, how to write a form, and how to use styles. You'll also be introduced to your second programming pattern, dividing components into presentational components and container components. Click next to begin tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead and back out, see where we're including day 103. We are ending day 103 at 30% of the way through React Part 2 with 1,201 points. And Demon profile, and 165 badges. Good times. We can go ahead and back out and close out the stream. Thank you again to all those who stopped by, Mr. Demon Wolf, Twist, and Just Carrot, anyone else who may have ventured in here. Always appreciate it. Hopefully you have an awesome rest of your day/evening, wherever you may be. And that's about it. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 104. But for now, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.